Hello and welcome back yet again to FLV Season 2, Week 2. We have a matchup against TBA versus ODD. I am your caster Ziff, joined by my co-caster here, Hawks. How you doing today?
Doing very good.
How are we feeling about this matchup today?
I honestly don't know a lot about the teams, but I feel like I have a good fight up ahead.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Not really sure the team's results from last week, but that it's all right. Ever since the league hit a massive expansion, it's been kind of hard to keep up with everything, but we're trying our best. Already, and we're heading into our map ban phase. So, we stream got a bit of a late start, so all of the bans have been completed by our teams. ODD start off by banning Corrode. TBA followed with an Abyss ban. Two pretty standard maps here. Corrode and Abyss. Not many people enjoy them. And then another common ban, ODD banning Bind. TBA banning Haven. ODD banning Lotus. TBA bans Ascent. So we're going on Sunset, which for me is the first Sunset game I'm seeing. I'm not sure many people have played on Sunset yet. And ODD is going to be starting on attack. But it does look like both of our teams this week are coming off of wins. So both looking to be staying undefeated. I believe this is a map that neither of the teams have played this season yet. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep anything the same, what changes they're going to make. So we're going to be seeing a pretty standard comp here on the side of TBA with Omen, Cypher being picked. Interesting that there are going to the double sentinel comp on a map like Sunset. I feel like that's not really common. And then two agents that you don't really see very often in Raze and Sky. So it'll be interesting to see how they play off those Sky flashes, the Sky Dog, and see if this guy will be able to keep up with a more common initiator pick on this map in the Breach. And on the side of ODD, sticking to nothing too crazy on the double duels comp. That aggressive waylay play style in combination with that raw aim fighting style in the Reyna, and it's topped off with, like I said, more common agents in Cypher and Breach. I think the two teams are going to have a very different play style. ODD is going to want to exploit that aggressiveness early on in the round, whereas I feel like TBA are going to have to play a little bit slower if they're going to want to win rounds and get that map control. Looks like we're going to see some early mid aggression here. 4 players on the side of ODD walking right through mid. They're a bit wary of the smoke. Are they going to expect the Cypher on the other side? Ladybug's going to throw down a cage, try to get a spam kill through smoke.
Nice kill by
And Gnome is going to get the pick on Ladybug, but post Shalom, is going to find the instant trade. And ODD are forced to retreat. They're going to go for a regress on this A site. They know they took down the Cypher. So they're thinking it might be weaker. Looks like they're going to go for their execute. They send their waylay in. Cokes, though, with the pick on Bribben. And Cokes, 2 more. Absolutely destroying that A site execute. And tops it off with a 4K. And that execute just looked very uncoordinated. Not a lot of communication on who was holding what. And Cokes was just able to walk right through, get 3, and then top it off with the 4th. After that initial call to go through mid, kind of got foiled. You know, they were kind of didn't really have much thought on what was going on. They tried to recover the round with the reaggress on A, but didn't end up working out for them.
Smoke's down. Got the spike.
Here we see a similar game plan, this time going on the B side through mid. But TBA already have 3 here, and ODD walks straight into a blender. And already in the round, it's down to a 5v2. Cokes finds Meow Meow and finds Garfield for the 2K to close off the round. And that's 2-0 for the side of TBA. Kind of expected after they win that that pistol round, you kind of want them to convert their anti-eco. We'll see if ODD has any response to this. Hopefully they don't get bonus, or it's going to look very rough for them come the later part of this first half. Right off the bat, we're seeing a very similar game plan coming from ODD. 5-man mid, giving up a lot of map control. They do have a couple of Cypher trips holding. Jose goes for the aggression, but is forced to retreat after being tagged up by TBA, Ladybug, and Post Shalone. But they're not backing down from this. Continuing with the mid aggression, they're going to find Post Shalone on that A side, and they're going to pivot off that and try to take the A bomb site, though. They are leaving Jose on this corner, trying to bait for him to hopefully get a couple kills, but they are going to play safe. TBA is wrapping around all the way through CT spawn, but looks like Jose might be able to find Ladybug, and Gnome finds a second. And it's down to a 5v2 again, but this time in favor of ODD. Pack It Up does find Jose off that kill on Ladybug. Right now, it's looking like they're just going to try to play for exits, try to upgrade their weaponry. Looks like Pack It Up was able to upgrade to a Vandal after that pick. Orban finds Gnome. Meow Meow is able to trade. Pack It Up. Time running low. Left in a 1v2 situation. Unable to get Garfield. And after that breach aftershock, it's impossible for him to win. Not able to save the rifle. And it's ODD responding with a round of their own. They did, however, take lots of economical damage, only able to save one of those rifles after being up 5-2. But they are still able to squeak by, you know, a light buy round, 4 rifles and a stinger. That's TBA going to be on their first full buy. Already looking like we're going to see yet another mid-aggress. But TBA already responding with a 3-stack mid of their own. But Jose with the opening pick finds Post Shalone. And that's going to open up. Jose gets another mid. And that's going to open up a lot of space to aggress through mid. Only going to have one here holding the B-bomb site. And it's all down to Cokes. Can he stop this 3-man rush? He does have Plorban help him out on the market. Meow Meow is able to bait out the wall, so they know there's presence B. The wall's down, and now they're going to go for their side execute. Meow Meow throws the cage, trying to block off those sight lines. And it's going to be an execute. Have to walk through those thorns. Cokes does get a good chip damage, but it's Meow Meow all the way in back sight. Finds a pick on Cokes. Gnome following up with a pick of his own on Plorbin. And it's just down to Ladybug. Can she manage to get a 1v5 clutch? It's looking unlikely. And it's looking like Ladybug is going to opt for the save here. And they're sending one of their duelists, Jose, hunting. Ladybug hears this. Gets one. And Ladybug hold on to this rifle. She's getting pinched from both sides. It's looking unlikely. Knows one's coming from spawn, maybe.
Not able to save the rifle.
That's a great 2-round response from the side of ODD. Tying it up at 2-2. Their econ's looking much better. And on top of that, forcing TBA to go to their first save round. It's looking like they're not going to go for mid aggression here early off the round, but rather going for just a simple execute 5 all on this side. That pick on Gnome is going to open up a lot of sight lines, but we can already see the rotations coming from the side of TBA. Gnome finds the second pick. Ribbon looking to flash out through the smoke. Jose playing in a cheeky spot, is able to find Cokes in CT. Is down to the 5v1. Yet again, TBA leaving their round on the shoulders of one player. Plorb with a ghost, unable to find it. And it's a Gnome with a 4K of his own. From what I'm seeing so far, TBA is going to get too many early picks. They're not trading, and they're giving up so much map control after dying, to their first initial picks. So they're going to need to start playing a little bit more as a team, maybe even playing a little bit more, passively against this double duelist comp. And already investing the way loyal Jose finds 2. Pack It Up is able to get a spray through smoke. He anticipates the continued aggression from Jose, and that makes it all the more possible for this retake. Looking like they're gonna flood from ramp, all 3 of them. Do they expect this positioning here? It's looking like Ribbon on the wrap, doesn't find one though. Plorbin and Pack It Up with 2 kills of their own. It's all down to Garfield. Doesn't have his rifles. Gonna have to invest the Brimstone ult.
It's a pick.
Pack It Up isn't able to stick. He is able to get it to half. Garfield knows where he's at. And Cokes just sticks it, knows it's halved. And he finds the pick on Garfield. That was an excellent retake from the side of TBA. ODD goes up 5-3 on the man advantage. Unable to hold on to it, though. Giving up too many picks. Unable to trade their teammates, especially with that clutch spam kill from Pack It Up onto Jose. And that just opened up a flood from ramp, and they were able to isolate 1v1s and eventually get the bomb defusal. And we're going to see this a very similar game plan here from ODD. Not changing too much up, just with the A site execute. We'll be sending most, if not all, their players back hauls. Meow Meow Papa here gets spotted out by the trip, but luckily he's able to escape with his life. We see Ladybug trying to get the spam kill off that. Post alone finds the opening pick. Meow Meow Papa running into yet another tripwire. And it's Post alone and Ladybug holding on to the A site. And it's all down to Jose. In another 1v5 situation. Finds the first. Bombs down. They know where it's at. We see all the players of TBA rotating onto this site. Doesn't have his refract. He's gonna have to go for it. Jose finds 2. Finds 3. All of a sudden, it's looking possible. He dashes out. Folks going for the wrap. I'm not sure if Jose's going to expect this. Going to try to go for the rotate. And there it is. Cokes finds Jose. And that was pretty scary if you're on the side of TBA, but they are able to close out the 5-1 man advantage.
Together. Smoke's down.
And right off the bat, we're going to see an A split here coming from the side of ODD. Jose's able to sneak into that Brimstone smoke top mid, but he retreats. He's going to regroup with his team. They're going to try to fight Market here, but the door is closed. So right now, it's kind of a stalemate here in mid. They do have mid control. But there are 3 players top mid waiting for them to push up. Waiting for that aggression. That market door is going to funnel them top mid. And it's Pack It Up to take the first contact. Gets the pick on Jose. But it's Bribin with the trade. And now it's ODD finding themselves backing up. On the other side of the map, we do have Gnome taking that elbow control. Is able to break the trips. Now it's Gnome and Garfield on site. They're going to call for Bribin to speed up, get the plant down. Gnome does find one through the smoke. It's Meow Papa. Pick on Coast, leaving TBA. As I say, they're leaving TBA in a 1v4 situation, all up to Post alone. Finds the first. Is he going to catch Bribin here in the off angle? No, he cannot. And it's Bribin closing out the rounds. And we're tied 4-4 here. Very even matchup between these two teams. TBA and ODD essentially going round for round here. Started out with 2 rounds for TBA. Then 3 on the side of ODD. TBA responded with 2 rounds of their own. And that's ODD on the recovery. And that round loss is going to force TBA on another eco here. As ODD look to build this economy. Investing in the Reyna ult here. Gnome's going to be looking to get some value off that. Maybe find the first pick on Pack It Up. He does. Knows there's one more on site. He's going to call for his teammate in Meow Meow to help clear elbow here. Poshalone gets one, but is traded out by Gnome. And that's going to open up this A bomb site here. However,
1 enemy remaining.
It's looking like the calls from... As I say that, looking like ODD finally going to regroup on the A site. There was some extra action there mid. Trades going in the way of
Spike planted.
ODD. And it's down to Ladybug. In another 1v2 situation. Aware of the flank, doesn't want to get wrapped. It's going to try to clear out ramp. But Gnome, playing the aggressive angle, it does find Ladybug. And they do convert their full bite rounds. That round win is going to be really useful for ODD and them building their economy. If they get one more, then they should be good for the rest of the half in terms of being able to full buy. And at that point, it's just going to be up to their strategies, their teamwork, and of course, their individual gameplay. But they haven't been really giving much attention to this B site here, and we're seeing another mid to A split. Gnome trying to take an aggressive angle, but choosing to back off. Jose does use a bit of that Waylay util to clear all the way up mid. And yet again, the TBA side does close market door. So they are going to have this mid for free. Yet again, we see two players here trying to hold on to this top mid space. They do smoke it off. Gnome blinds out. It's going to try spraying through the smoke. Doesn't find anything. Yet again, it's going to be ODD walking back around. It's looking like Post Shalom's going to go for an aggressive angle here. Maybe trying to get some info. He does find two. Oh, I say that. He finds one and gets traded out by Gnome. But that is Jose down. Bribin investing the breach ult, trying to get the site execute. Nearly gets taken out by the raise nade. Left on. Oh, he gets taken out by the thorns, and Cokes finds two more. It's Gnome without his rifle, just the shorty. Can he find Cokes here? He doesn't find him. Cokes with another 4K. That was a huge misstep, literally, by Bribin walking right into the thorns after dropping to 20 HP off of the raise nade. You know, they got so much sight control off of that breach ult, but weren't able to do anything because their spike got stuck in elbow, and Cokes able to capitalize off of all the chaos, finding two more off the thorns.
Launching smoke.
And no really response from the side of ODD. You're going with a pretty similar game plan here in their mid aggression. We do have Jose all the way up top mid. He's able to break the trip. And Gnome finds one Post alone on the A side. And it's just down to Cokes to hold the site down. They know they feel like it's going to be an A aggression, but they're not over rotating. 3 still top mid. Pack It Up's going to take contact here. Does jiggle it out. And Jose choosing to retreat off that contact. And they're going to slow walk over to A. Cokes is going to hear this noise. Is he going to... Does he suspect Gnome to be playing an aggressive angle like this? The timing does get out, but Gnome with the reswing finds Cokes, and that's going to be an A-bomb site clear. Down to the 5v3. Bribin's going to get the spike down. It's going to be planted for elbow. And TBA very patient on this retake, throwing a smoke halls. Meow Meow on the flank. Wait, no, sorry. Ladybug on the flank, but does have to break the trip from Meow Meow. So they do know that she's there. Jose able to find it. Pack It Up with 2, though. Open up that site.
Last player standing.
But Meow Meow is able to get the trade, and it's down to Plorbin. 8 HP and a dream. With a Spectre. Finds Jose. Reloads in the open, and it's Meow Meow. With that final pick onto Plorbin.
Last round before the switch.
Very even matchup. Still, it's 5-6. Really nothing has changed. Either way, if TBA lose or win this round, they could still easily win the game. I'm thinking it's going to come down to the defender or the next half pistol round. You know, whoever can get that pistol and hopefully build momentum. And ODD stick to their game plan. Mid-aggression, but Pack It Up anticipates it, sprays through the smoke. And on the A site, it's Cokes with a Spectre spray kill. Pack, however, is left on 10 HP, but they do have the man advantage. Do have weaker weapons, though. And Pack It Up looking for some info here. Does he expect Gnome? He doesn't, but he's able to use the satchel's get out. But it's Bribin and Known finding Cokes and Shalom. And they do get the equalizing picks, but let's
Last
pack
player
it up.
standing.
1, 2, line him up. He'll knock him down. Garfield does find Ladybug. But it's Plorbin. And it's 6-6.
Switching sides.
That was an excellent half from both teams.
Ears still ringing.
Everything that ODD did, TBA had a response. Obviously, ODD wasn't really playing a very complex game. They kind of had the same game plan going into every round. They only hit the B bomb site one time. And other than that, it was just constant, early round mid aggression as they walked up A main. And then they just executed onto the A bomb site. And yeah, I mean, it only worked half the time, as you can tell. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of response TBA has to that. What kind of strats they're going to run. And already we see them aggressing the opposite side of the map in B. And it's just going to be Meow Meow on that site. Can he hold it down as he waits for his team to rotate? They do see the trip. They get both the trips down. It's going to be Plorbin on the opposite side of the map on A, finding a pick onto Jose. Meow Meow Pupai and Bribin combining for 2 picks on the 2 top frags of TBA. And Ladybug and Meow Meow trading kills.
Standing.
Gnome finds Post alone on default as Plorbin playing an awkward angle, but Meow Meow is able to clean him up with the 3K.
Spike defused.
Here.
TVA deciding they don't really like that A bomb site. They're anticipating that the Cypher's going to play there, so they are going to go for an A rush here. Just playing slow, waiting for that aggression from Gnome. Trying to bait out that aggression, maybe upgrade the weapons. And Gnome forced to back up off that raise nade, but he's still going to hold his line. Jose, however, does find a pick in mid with the Outlaw, but it's pack it up, finding the pick on Gnome and Elbow. They're going to get a Guardian out of it. And they're going to call to re-aggress this A-bomb site. Jose, though, finds pack it up.
Last player standing.
And they do clean it up. Got a bit scary after Gnome gave up that Guardian in Elbow. But Jose is able to get a 3K to save the round for them. Pack it up. Finds the pick onto Bribin.
Bomb buddy out. One enemy remaining.
And Cokes with the lurk up through mid finds 2. Just down to Garfield with a stinger here. Finds Cokes. Is going to be able to upgrade to a Phantom, but pack it up with a 3K. Securing the team another round, and that puts them at 7-8. If you're TBA, you absolutely needed to win that bonus round to stay in the game. Losing it means, a lot of momentum on the side of ODD. So they were able to take advantage of their better weapons, get another round on the board, and hopefully try to build momentum, build orbs.
Come on, let's go.
We're going to see early aggression here from Bribin with the breach utility. Trying to play for his teammate, Jose. Do get the breach done. Gonna anticipate the swing out. Jose does find Ladybug, but pack it up with the equalizing pick on Bribin.
Go get it.
And Jose calls for his teammates to rotate. They're going to be mindful of mid. Jose holding a tight angle. Finds pack it up.
Caution here.
And that just kind of stuns the push on the side of TBA. But this is a good call here. They did leave the B side open. We have 4 on the A side. Well, 3 on the A side. And Gnome holding it down mid. If they just go market here, break the door. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Great calling on the side of TBA. Post alone, just to add insult to injury, is going to get that equalizing pick. And they don't know, but they do have a free bomb site. Post alone's going to find a safe plant. And they do smoke off the op. Plorbin, though, and an interesting angle here. And it's going to be Cokes playing in a tight angle here, trying to get the trades off Plorbin. Plorbin finds Meow Meow. Jose trying to get a pick with the op. He whiffs. And it's going to be Plorbin and Cokes holding that. Never mind.
Last player standing.
Jose on for the ace.
One enemy remaining.
Knows where he's at. The ult barely doesn't hit him. And Post alone denying the ace and holding down the site in that 1v2 is able to secure them around. And yet again, we're tied. It was a great individual effort from Jose all over the map, getting those op picks. Does open up a lot of space on that retake, but unfortunately he and his teammates aren't able to capitalize on it, and it's Post alone with the 2 kills securing the rounds. Jose here after that big investment, just left with a Marshall. And on the side of ODD, it's looking like it's just going to be Sheriffs and Light Shields. Already, it's going to be a challenging round for them to win. But it's just going to be TBA playing slow. It's looking like they're going to work mid. They do have trips for the push out on the A side, but do they expect Jose holding this angle? Baits off the one shot. They're going to push him back a little bit, but he's still holding that line. He's going to get dogged out. He's going to be forced to respect it. And he slows himself down. And that is absolutely brutal. Cokes able to capitalizing off of that poor mistake. But Meow Meow. Cokes hits the trip, and Meow Meow able to capitalize off of it. But they take the pick from Jose and turn it into a site execute. Meow Meow, though, converting for yet another Sheriff pick. All of a sudden, the tide's turning heavily in the favor of ODD. Utilizing that breach out, clearing back sight. Unable to get the kill on Post alone. He's immortal. Meow Meow, though, on for the ace. He needs to do it all, and do it all he does. Meow Meow Papaya with the ace, securing the thrifty round.
Hey. You're dead, and I didn't feel anything.
Yet again, we are seeing this game absolutely riddled with individual plays. His teammate, Jose, wasn't able to convert the ace for the retake. But he says, we can still win this round. We may just have Sheriffs. Does get the first 2, able to upgrade to the rifle. And from there, in all the chaos, he's able to find 3 more and get the defuse. or the ace.
Jeez, mate.
And that one breaks the bank on the side of TBA. They're going to be looking to recover after that one. Just walking up. We do have a gamble stack on the mid and A side from ODD. So if they figure out that it's only Brimstone, going to be a free sight here. But it's looking like Brimstone's going to be playing passive. Plorben, however, getting the pick on Gnome before Jose is able to find the trade. Like I said, they are able to get a free bomb site. Garfield, though, pushing up the timing, though, pulls out his knife, still able to find the pick. And Plorben as well, getting a pick mid on Bribben.
One enemy remaining. Last place.
Now, Meow Meow Papaya may have done some crazy stuff last round, but this is seemingly impossible. He has to be aware of the Omen ult too. It's in the 1v4. Even though they win last round, their economy is still not good enough, so he does go for the save. And that's going to be the 9th round on the board for TBA. And we still have a tie game.
Cage triggered.
If this game is anything like it's been, we might see a nice overtime game here. Both teams trying to convert the win here, but if I'm either team, I'd be very pleased with how I was doing, securing a lot of points, even if you do get the loss, getting enough points for your team to still set yourself up to get into those playoffs. And at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants. But here we see a gamble stack from the side of ODD. It's going to pay off. But Cokes is able to find 2. And that's absolutely brilliant from Cokes. Able to get 2 before he dies. And it's down to the 3v3. Ribbon holding down the line on the B site, so they know it's going to be a rotate here. Is able to upgrade, so now we have a rifle 3v3. Gnome and Bribben, however, don't have shields. Going to get spotted out by the tripwire. Bribben and Gnome speed up their rotates. It's all down to Meow Meow Papaya. He's just going to play passively here. Try to catch a timing. I don't think they might expect him on the south side. He gets spotted out, though. And he's going to be forced to retreat and play with this team. Bribben, however, wary of a mid lurk. Spots nothing, so he's going to go play with his team. Gnome finds the 2 opening picks, and Meow Meow closes it out with a pick on Posh alone. And yet again, ODD are able to convert a low buy rounds. If you're TBA, you've got to be taking advantage of this weaponry. Can't be losing those full buy rounds. And that puts their economy in a really bad spot. Just barely able to squeak by with rifles. If they lose this round, it's kind of over. They're going to be forced onto an eco, being down 9-11, and then likely going to map point. And at that point, that's going to be a pretty deep hole to dig yourself out of. So here we have their response. Going to be going for the A main rush, but the trades go Odd's way. Gnome finding 2. But Cokes, however, huge pick to find. Gnome gets a little greedy, and he ends up giving up the numbers advantage. So we are down to the 3v3.
Found one.
Investing that Sky ult. Posh alone. Gonna find 1 on the site. Other 2 coming from mid, so they know it's likely going to be a lowly guarded bomb site. But Bribben here in the smoke. Cokes doesn't expect it. And Bribben able to retreat. And ODD once again having that man advantage. They know both are here. So now it's just a waiting game. With only 40 seconds left, they're going to have to make a decision. Uses that Skydog, finds one on sight. Slowly walking. They know they're not rotating.
30 seconds left.
They do have the Brimstone watching mid. They're going to try to flash out here.
Player standing.
Bribben, though, holding down the line, finds Post alone. That's an unfortunate dink. If you're on the side of TBA, that pick likely could have secured them the rounds.
Cage triggered.
But it's going to be Ladybug here, saving the rifle. Bribben and Meow Meow hunting her down. And it's Meow Meow with the sheriff kill on the Cypher counterpart, Ladybug, bringing them to 9-11. And somehow they are still able to get 3 hero rifles on the side of TBA. This is an absolute must win if you're TBA. And if you're ODD, no pun intended, but I'm liking their odds right now. Econ's looking pretty solid. They're going to have enough money for the rest of the game if they manage to win one of these rounds and keep enough rifles. And so far, their defensive game plan is working. Looking like we have early aggression here from Gnome. Going to be taking a lot of space mid. He's going to get paranoid out.
I got the spike.
Somehow, though, still holding his line. Pack it up, though, finding one. And it's Gnome with the trade. Pack it up with 3. Finding 2 more mid. And that's going to open up mid. They're going to have to make up their minds here. They do have Halo pushing up with the op. Sees him. Somehow, that's a ballsy swing from Post alone. Swinging right into the op. Takes 130 damage. And they're going to be committing to this push. They're wary of the op here. Going to be dogging out. They know where he's at, so they're going to be forced to go through elbow here. And these are perfect smokes from Plorbin. Smoking off Jose. He's not going to be able to make a play with that op unless he swings through smoke, but he misses the shot. Plorbin able to get the plant down. Can pack it up fine. 2 more. He's on for the ace, but it's Post alone with this aggressive angle.
One enemy remaining.
Lots of chip damage. Finds Jose through the box, and it's pack it up. Finding that pick on Meow Meow, securing the 4K and securing the round for TBA.
Oh, this is a nice spot. Yalla, mshina. This goes here.
Switching things up here. TBA going for the A aggression. We got Cokes finding the first. Pack it up with the second. And that's both of their duelists down. Jose and Gnome taking bullets to the head. And they're going to speed up on this B site here. But they don't expect Bribben here. Smoke's coming from Garfield. And rotates. Gonna clear him out. And he's pretty much cooked from there. They're gonna speed up. Saw Meow Meow Papa in CC. And here comes Plorbin to get the plant down. Spots Meow Meow back sight. Utilized the breach ult pretty early on. And it's down to Garfield. Or Garfield, sorry, gets one with the ult. Down to Meow Meow. In the 2v1s. Able to find the pick on Ladybug lurking. Gets the ult. Finds out where Plorbin is. And it's Meow Meow with the 1v2 clutch. Bringing his team to map points.
Clutch.
You forget, I always play high stakes.
So many individual plays. So many players stepping up to the plate here in this map. Getting 4Ks, 3Ks, 1v2s. And Meow Meow especially has played a huge role in these retakes. Holding down sites and then, they don't push his site.
This should do.
And all of a sudden he has to retake. Well, He's playing a huge part in those retakes. Got an ace for one. Got a 1v2 clutch for another.
That goes there.
And he's kept his team alive. And TBA are full pedal to the metal. Post alone. Clears elbow with the Skydog. Finds Meow Meow on site. They are investing. The Razel is unable to find anyone, but they know he's back site. They get the nade.
Out of charges.
Ribbon and Jose find two of their own, but Cokes with the response. Finding two. It's Post alone with another. Down to the 1v3. It's Garfield all alone. We've been playing in a little bit of an awkward spot here. And the timing. Cokes goes through the smoke, doesn't spot Garfield. But as it dissipates, Cokes finds his third. And if you're Jose, you got to be a little bit disappointed with how little value he managed to get from that Waylay ult. Pack It Up's able to push through that smoke before the Waylay ult hits. Finds an unsuspecting Meow Meow before being traded out. And then he's left all alone. I believe he goes down to Cokes. And just one more round decides if we go to overtime or if we close out the game. Lots of noise, causing some rotations here from the side of TBA. No, taking a lot of space B main. He's telling his team that they can gamble stack here on A. Oshalone's got to find the first pick on Jose. And that was a big Visal coming from Cokes. They were able to just absolutely overrun the side of ODD, who only had their secondaries. And Gnome left alone with nothing but a judge and a dream. And Pack It Up spots him out and takes him down, and we are going to overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
I'm not sure. I think I just got word that this might be the first overtime of the season. Is this the first overtime of the season, or is this the... Well, to all the viewers out here, you're a part of history now. First overtime match of season 22. And honestly, I did not expect it from these two teams, TBA and ODD. Not super familiar with their games, but they did both come off of convincing wins from last week, so it doesn't make sense. You know, they just got off of 12 rounds of defense, but still their attack game plan is practically the exact same here. Lots of aggression mid from Jose. He's going to be playing like a little rat in this top mid smoke with a shorty. Doesn't find anything. He knows where the trip's at. So he's just going to break it and get out. TBA using util to clear out top mid. So now they can focus a little bit more on these extremities. Jose just being a little thorn in the side of TBA. Breaks that market door, threatening that extra presence. But little did they know, it's just going to be a 5-man execute onto the B site. Already 3 here, though. It's going to be Plorbin and Cokes holding it down. Plorbin finds one. Gnome's going to aggress back site. Cokes swinging off the dismiss. Finds another. They are able to get the plant down, but it's Cokes and Pack It Up, finding one of their each. They know where Brim's at. Bribin, sorry, excuse me. They know where Bribin's at. And it's an absolute dominant retake from the side of Pack It Up. Great sight hold from Cokes. Finds 2 picks. And then his teammates are able to flood off of all that chaos. And ODD had absolutely no idea what happened to them. And And it comes down to this. They need to get
No more theory.
the win here before it goes to a tie. Can TBA close it out? Jose, though, investing in the op. He's going to be holding this tiles angle. Is Cokes aware of it, though? Oh, he's barely... He does hold it for a second, but he checks off of it. And Jose finds one. And he's going to run away. Happy with the result that he gets for his team. Putting them up to the 5v4. And Post Shalom, along with his team, are just going to slow it down. Cypher cage utilized for safe rotates. Don't want to get spotted out by that op. But do they expect Gnome push up here so far in this off angle? Plorbin doesn't expect it, but still finds a kill on Gnome. And fast rotates here from the side, but this is great calling from the side of TBA. Over rotates coming from the side of ODD. And it's just going to be a lonely Meow Meow on the A bomb side. Still wary of that mid lurk. Bribben gets smoked off. They're speeding up here. 14 seconds left. Bribben finds a spam kill from that tripwire. And they're going to be forced to stick it here. Bribben packing up, finds one. As Bribben tries to deny the plant, but they're going to get it down and secure with that Razor. But can he get a kill here? Doesn't get a kill. Doesn't really get much damage here. And it's going to be Garfield responding off of it. Garfield finds one. Traded by Pack It Up. Pack It Up super low from that op tag. They know where Ladybug's at. And Pack It Up is all stranded. Unable to help Ladybug. Ladybug's going to have to find one here. But it's Jose. Time's running low. They know where Pack It Up's at. A little bit of ring around the rosy, but it's Jose with the classic to secure the rounds. Still plenty of time. It was good calling from the side of TBA, you know, working that map, causing a little bit of confusion from the side of ODD, some little bit of over rotates, but they just weren't quick enough in their decision making. And it ended up with one too many picks from the side of ODD. Going back to their bread and butter. They did lose that attack round when they tried to push B, so they're just going to go straight back to A.
Smoke's down.
Cypher KM broken by Post Alone. And he's going to call from early rotates from the other Sentinel. Cokes already playing on this side of the map. It's looking like Pack It Up's going to be pushed out all the way in B main. They know it's going to be an A hit. They have visual mid. They have visual B. So they're going to have to gamble stack here. I'm surprised that Plorbin hasn't rotated over yet. And they execute. Post alone, though, finds one before being traded out. That is huge. Post alone making it that much more possible for his team to win this round. Pack It Up, however, is on the flank, but it is tripped off, and two people wait ready. Meow Meow gets one on Plorbin. Pack It Up, though, on the flank. Ladybug finds one off that flank, but is traded out. Pack It Up. Gets shot down. Cokes, though, gonna be able to not be able to stick to half. Finds one, however. It's gonna be just down to Cokes and Meow Meow, but Cokes, no time. Ends up dying to the Brim Molly.
Switching sides.
And all of a sudden, it's ODD flipping the script, winning. I believe. Hold on, how many is that?
Now we wait.
Winning 2 rounds in a row and pushing themselves into map point.
Walk out. Here. Time to hunt.
A push coming here.
Scout destroyed.
ODD need to secure the round. Secure the game before it gets to 15-15, or else neither of the team gets the win. Corbin, though, with the paranoia, finds two. Jose, though, is still able to get one, and it's Cokes with one of his own. Gnome, though, gets a pick on the flank. They only know one is there, though. They still need to be aware of CT, but they do know that Gnome has to be coming from the attacker side. Brimstone smoke phase. Do they know Cokes here? Cokes in a very unusual position, though. Gnome is aware of it.
One enemy remaining.
But it's Ladybug and Plorbin. Or sorry, Cokes and Plorbin. Finding one each. And it's 14-14.
Switching sides. Over.
And we're going into the last two rounds of the game. Either we crown a winner, or both teams left, you know, content, but you got to be disappointed in the result. You know, one round could have changed the tide of this game. One round could have changed the result. But we're here, 14-14. Post Alone gets that info flash, knows there's pressure on the A side, and Ladybug left stranded. Post Alone gonna try to hold the crossfire here. Do good to smoke it off, so they know someone has to be playing close here. Ladybug unable to find one, but is traded by Post Alone. However, Gnome with the instant trade, pack it up, nice shots, finding one for himself, but doesn't expect
Planted the spike.
Last player standing.
Garfield. As I say that, turns around, finds Garfield. And it's going to be Meow Meow asked to do it once again. The 1v2 clutch. Boombot spots him out. No one's sticking. I got a little scared there. Meow Meow finding one, but it's Plorbin securing the rounds. And yet again, TBA find themselves on map point.
Switching sides. Match point.
And they secure it this time, or do they give up yet another map point, forcing the draw? And I don't know, but this might just be the most evenly matched map I have ever seen. And I've casted a few games here, but this has got to take the cake for the most evenly matched here. Teams going blow for blow. 6-6 half, 6-6 second half, end up in overtime. And we might see a 15-15 here if TBA can't convert, but Cokes bringing them one step closer, finds the first. No, Plorbin, though, TPing just too far past that trip. Cokes, however, with the trade onto Gnome. Post Alone finding Bourbon backside. All of a sudden, it's down to the 2v4. Meow Meow, though, has been an absolute hero for his team. Finds the one. Dude, they expect Garfield. No, they do not. Garfield finds one, and now they have to be aware of it. Pack It Up is smoked off.
One enemy remaining.
Post Alone finds him, and Pack It Up
Attackers win.
wins the game, 16-14. And that was an amazing game. Lots of individual plays from both sides. Both teams played an excellent match. We saw lots of good teamwork, lots of good site executes, lots of good, calling, lots of good, like I said, individual plays, especially coming from Cokes, Pack It Up, Jose, Meow Meow. All the players, they all gave their all, made incredible individual plays. And that was one of the closest maps I have seen. ODD may have lost, but by no means should they be disappointed in their result. They have a lot to be proud of. So I'm excited to see how they bounce back next week. And I'm excited to see how TBA keeps this momentum going. They're up 2-0 now on the season, so if they can continue this momentum, then they might just very well be unstoppable. Well, anyways, folks, that's gonna do it for this match. But in about 40 minutes, or whenever we decide to start, we do have one more match of the week. The last match of week 2. If you're up at 10:30, then might as well catch it, right? Because it's the last map of the week, so should be an entertaining game. I just want to thank Hawks for being a great observer today, and of course, him, the one and only Halo, yet again being our stream up today. So huge shout out to the production crew, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.